Guess it was the chumps tonight, though, folks. Where was that tonight?
Suns, Booker for the win. Yes! Booker, this is for the win.
All right, we don't deserve any music tonight. All right, let's just cut the music. Okay, that was brutal to even deal with considering tonight. Anywho, let me just get it going with a little rant here. Suns Geek Romp 2.0 in the house. What's going on, everybody in chat? We appreciate you coming out. I just want to get the elephant out of the room with Ayton. Yeah, he started hot, right? Came out and played okay in the beginning. And then what happened? Crickets, and he gave up 41 and almost a triple-double to Cat. So everybody who's been in our mentions, giving us crap, calling us fake fans, telling us, oh, you're just haters, He's 22. Why would you trade him for Cat? That's why I would trade him for Cat. Suns Geek, you're less blurry than Coach, so please, what did you think, brother?
He just
and then he freezes.
He just froze.
That's it in a nutshell tonight, folks. And there goes Coach.
Am I still here?
You're back, Geek. What's good, Geek? Give us your thoughts.
Welcome to the DeAndre Ayton therapy session here on the Suns Valley podcast, where we have technical difficulties and internet connection. Welcome. First off, big shout out to my boy Romp 2.0. If you guys follow my channel, you guys know who this guy is. I don't even got to introduce him because you already know who Romp is. So just what are my thoughts on the game, Gabe?
Wherever you want to take it, brother. The world is your oyster.
You know what? I told you this before. I was like, I got to open this beer already because I just need to vent. I need to just drink a beer. This game was weird because I remember in the Grizzlies game in the first quarter, we kind of started off slow and we ended up blowing them out. And I think you said it on the last pod. You were like, we're probably going to go 1-1 against the Timberwolves, which I'm fine with, especially if we beat the Lakers. But man, 10 first quarter turnovers is unacceptable. Now, there's been some games where the Suns have turned the ball over a lot and then cleaned it up in the second half, which that's fine. But the turnovers killed us. But it was weird because I think at halftime we had 14 turnovers, but we had 14 assists to go along with 14 points off their 11 turnovers. But Anthony Edwards absolutely killed us tonight. Cat killed us tonight. And I had to drink a beer because it was embarrassing ending to that game. So cheers to everybody in the chat. Cheers to you guys. Tough loss. Luckily, we play them tomorrow.
So Charles in the chat is asking, Romp 2.0 is a 76ers fan, though, right? He is, but I feel like we were starting to make some headway and get this guy over to our side. I felt like we were becoming one of his number two
as a Suns fan.
Right? So, I'm sorry about tonight, man. We're trying to get you on our side, but I guess maybe tonight we lost you.
I converted Ron as a Suns fan.
I feel like in the NBA, you could have like a Western Conference team and an Eastern Conference team because you're probably the Suns and Sixers are going to match up in the finals, but I've been following the Suns pretty good this year, not like every game. And when I watch the Suns, I'm not really in-depthly watching like I do the Sixers, but I'm still like paying attention. I talk to Suns Geek, so I kind of know what's going on. But you saw tonight, DeAndre Ayton, the difference between Cat and DeAndre. You saw when Cat got the mismatch with the second unit with your small ball five with Dario, Cat was going at it. When he realized he had that mismatch, he was taking advantage of it, and that kind of killed you guys. Like, even though Ayton played terrible, the sad thing about the Suns right now is they have no other option, like, in terms of rim protection, because Ayton was like a +7, and when he was out of the game, they were just killing the Suns inside. But still, Ayton's just like lack of intensity and like heart just kind of pisses me off. as an outsider. I don't know if you feel the same.
Absolutely. I mean, we take heat for it all day. Coach, I know you're one of the most ardent Ayton haters. I mean, respectively. I don't think you actually hate him, but it comes across that way on Twitter, I'm sure. Coach, your thoughts, brother?
Well, sorry, I can't. Can you guys hear me okay, at least?
Perfect, man.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good.
Well, I'll try to get it going as the podcast go on, but
You're
just a few things before I even get to DeAndre Ayton. One, I think this should absolutely prove you do not want to be a fourth quarter team or dubbed a fourth quarter team. This right here proves it. Oh, we'll wait till the fourth quarter. We'll wait till the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, we got two guys that score 40 plus on you. Good job. Number two, Romp already said it. Welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming on. But he said, and what I've been saying since our very first podcast together, which was game 2 of the season, this proves why we need another big man down low, and I don't want to have to say it again. Also, it goes to show, I've been saying this since game 2, play one game at a time. I hate power rankings. I hate looking at the standings when we're doing good. I even got caught up a little bit in the last week myself and going into the All-Star break, but you have to play one game at a time, and there's no way you can go around it. In the playoffs, you're not worried about the next opponent. You're not worried about game 5, 6, 7. No, you got to come out and handle your business at home. On the road, it doesn't matter the opponent, especially this season with COVID stuff going on. We've proven we can't even beat a team that has half their players sitting. One game at a time. That is all that matters. You play who is in front of you. You guys watch one game at a time, right? We all watch one game at a time. We're not going in the game being like, oh, I can't wait to watch the Lakers game tonight. No, we're playing the T-Wolves, and you're going to sit down and you're going to tune in and you're going to watch all 48 minutes because they have to play those 48 minutes. One game at a time. Don't look at Bleacher Report power rankings. Don't talk about matchups. We don't know what's going to happen. Injuries, the trade deadline, yada, yada. And then the final point we need to make tonight. This absolutely proves Cat is far, far and away superior, elite on every single level when healthy over DeAndre Ayton. With the ball,
but DeAndre
with
Ayton
handles. DeAndre Ayton fouls, defense, yada, yada. Yeah, he had such good defense. He just let these dudes walk all over him. And we need to get into the team defense, too. Team defense was garbage. Absolutely horrid.
Coach, I feel like we've infected Suns Geek. I feel like Suns Geek was on this upward trajectory, right? And we just reached up and grabbed him by the feet, and we're just yanking him back down because, Suns Geek, you are starting to turn on your boy Aiden a little bit, and that's fine. What I want to say about that is, it would be so nice, guys, to be in the position that Ayton's world is in. Did you guys see? Shout out to Ayton's world. Did you see it? Did you see what he got?
I'm blocked. I've blocked him. I don't know what happened.
Oh, he got the follow.
He got a follow from DeAndre Ayton. So that's what is it? It's Ayton season, right? And then it looked like somebody else did. Congrats. You know how much I would love to get a follow from any Phoenix Suns player? I would love it. It would be the crowning achievement of my life. I might retire from podcasting if that happened. I'd be so satisfied, okay? But I'm not going to get a follow from Ayton, am I, Geek? And I don't know if you are anymore. I don't know if it's in the cards.
That video.
That video alone, my God, you're right. But it's like, it would be so nice to just sit here and, let's find an appropriate word. Sit here and be patting Ayton on the back and saying, "You'll get him next time, son. You're just a young man."
Maybe if he was a rookie, but not in his third year.
Third year, you have a perfect opportunity. You go up against Cat. Everybody has been calling for us to trade you specifically for Cat. Mm-hmm. And this is the performance you give us. A lackluster, absent second half, completely absent, and you give up a 40 burger to the guy who we're saying is better than you. What more needs to be said? Please, anyone in the chat who's still brave enough, we will not go at you that hard, I promise. Tell us why DeAndre Ayton, why we shouldn't be calling to trade for DA for Cat. Anyone in the chat, explain that to me.
Oh, it's just been one game, guys. You can't judge DeAndre Ayton off a couple of mistakes that he's made. You can't make a video like that, Suns Geek. I mean, like, I remember earlier in the season, I made a rant video about the Suns, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I shouldn't have done or should have done that. And then the Suns started losing. They were like 8-8, and we would lose games to like the Wizards and all that. And I was like, I don't regret making those kind of videos because the Suns keep doing this. They keep proving my point, kind of like how DeAndre Ayton is proving all of our points about his game tonight. He had a couple of good moments here and there, but again, this was another game where he just was not engaged. Cat just did whatever the hell he wanted out there. He moves quicker than Ayton. He has more confidence than DeAndre Ayton. Hit back-to-back threes late in this game. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, to
Ayton
me,
won't even take threes.
Right?
Sorry, Romp.
Well, yeah, go
Ayton
ahead, Romp.
gets the ball, and his defender sags off of him 5 feet, saying, I double dog dare you. Shoot.
Dude.
And he won't even look at the rim. You know what it's like, Geek? It's like when you have a bully and you're like, I don't even want to look at this dude. Like, I don't even want to give him the time of day. Like, I need to just walk past him. Like, that's how he treats the 3-point line.
Dude, when
and he's
Cat-
got a good shot.
When
Sorry.
Cat had that breakaway dunk, you know, where he like tomahawked it with one hand, I was like, yeah, the Suns are not trading for Cat, especially for DeAndre Ayton. That is never happening in our lifetime.
Facts.
Damn, that hurts.
Romp, what were you going to say? I'm sorry, man.
I was going to say, whenever DeAndre Ayton gets the ball, it just looks like he wants to get rid of it. Like it's a hot potato, or he's like so nervous. He just looks weird.
Romp,
Like he just has no confidence.
Say what you were telling me about like Chris Paul and how like he doesn't like Jay Crowder had a play where he didn't give him the ball. You and I were talking about that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm crazy. Like I don't watch the Suns in depthly, so maybe I'm wild. But
no, he's right.
I've seen so many instances where Chris Paul looks at DeAndre Ayton, like looks at him in the post, and he just looks the other way and passes. And then there's even an instance tonight where DeAndre Ayton picked up a foul, and Chris Paul was pissed at him. And then at the foul line, he kind of walked down and said something to Ayton. And to me, Chris Paul looks fed up. It seems like the players don't like DeAndre Ayton. I don't know. That's just from an outsider's perspective.
I've been
so
saying this and saying this and saying this. Oh my God. I've been saying this. Look at the little things. He came off the floor the other day, and I'm sorry my camera's fuzzy, but he's giving high fives like this.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
You have been calling that.
I feel like the only player Ayton really had chemistry with was Kelly Oubre, because Ayton doesn't get enough credit for starting the whole Valley Boys movement, which rest in peace to that. It doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
But yeah, I've always had kind of a weird theory that Booker and Ayton don't like each other in Romp. I've told you that before, so you might be right about that.
I mean, it's because 50% of the time when you pass it to Ayton, it's going off his fingers. So like a lot of times when I defend Ayton, when I'm talking to Suns Geek, I'm like, the Suns really don't give him the ball when he's posting up. But at the same time, you got to look at the other side. Do you really trust Ayton with the ball in the post? Because he's either just going to he's going to give it right back to the other team. So I don't blame the Suns players to not give him the ball. And when you saw like earlier in the season, there's like this game against Memphis, they were force feeding DeAndre Ayton, and it kind of just like messed up the flow of the offense.
Or Ayton's going to take one of those middies and miss.
Yeah, I want to shout out the Portland fans in here. First of all, man, we love you guys' podcast over at Blazers Uprise. It was a smash hit. I'm telling you, there's just something organic going on between Suns fans and Portland's fans. Like, when I tuned into Blazers Uprise for the first time, I didn't even know we played you guys next. I had no clue. I was just tuning in on a whim, right? And then I was like, maybe I'll ask these guys if they want to talk to us, you know? And then I was like, I wonder when we play them. Next, we play them. So I was like, yo, let's do it. And it was great. We got a ton of subscribers, man. Thank you guys for continuing to show up. You can see how small we are. We
Congratulations to the
it,
Valley
right?
Podcast, by the way, for 130 subscribers. And
hey, man, it's been a dream. It's all Coach is doing. It's all Coach and Salty, all right?
Oh,
shout out to Salty. We miss you.
Right? I know this would have been the perfect Salt
we know you're watching, man.
Maybe
vent the next podcast.
Maybe his girl will fall asleep early tonight and then he'll slide up in here. But yo, I just want to say thanks to you guys. And hey, aren't we even more like bonded with blood after this game? I mean, you know the Suns are going to be making excuses like, well, it's just tough to beat the same team twice, which is exactly why people want to cut Terry Stotts' dick off, right? So, like, we can all talk about the fact that, of course, tomorrow night we're going to get that W, bro. We're going to go out there. Everybody's going to be looking good. I bet Chris Paul will have a better game. Hey, DA might even show up tomorrow night. Who knows? But it's not about that. It's about beating teams that you're supposed to beat every time and never taking them too lightly. And Romp, we were talking before the game. You were saying you can tell, and you're not even a Suns fan, that we play every team up to their standards or down to their standards. We never bring our own energy. We expect them to bring it. And we're like, oh, how are we playing tonight, folks? Good or bad? How does that look from a Sixers fan? Do you guys have that problem?
Not necessarily this year with Doc Rivers, but in the past with Brett Brown. And I think it's just like a young team thing to do, like who's new to winning, because the Suns are relatively new to winning besides like Chris Paul, Dario, but they're relatively young. So
and the bubble.
I think it's just being new to winning and just young guys being young guys. But at the end of the day, you can't be doing that. I think you got to put that on the coach as well, because it's kind of weird because you guys have Chris Paul and Jay Crowder. So I don't know if you could blame it on being young. So I don't know what's going on with that, but they got to figure it out.
I agree, man. Charles, this was only one game. We know it's one game, bro, but can we just vent? Can we vent? I mean, it was a disappointment, an utter disappointment. This is like personally, if I were to go 1v1 versus Suns Geek, I'm getting that dub. And if he beats me 1v1, I'm going to be pissed. I got to talk about it.
Hey, how dare
See, he froze. Perfect. Ball don't lie. Geek.
There's no way, Suns Geek. He would be out in like 2 minutes.
How dare you underestimate?
I'll put the weight on you, bro. I'll just back you down. Just back you down in the paint.
No, because we've seen DeAndre Ayton try that, and it doesn't work, does it?
Right.
Whoa. That's a low blow.
This dude, I'm telling you, we are pulling Geek right back to reality.
Bro, I've never seen anything like it. Like, he never said a bad thing on his channel, but then after he meet you, like he's making the harsh truth of DeAndre Ayton. Next, he's gonna make the harsh truth of Cameron Payne. Monty. Like
it all started with those rant videos. I'm telling.
He's frozen again.
Dude, we lose. What a night to have these lags. We've never had lags like this except for a night when we lose to a team that no one should lose to. Go ahead, Geek. We can hear you now.
I was just saying, right when I made that first rant video, something just in me just snapped. You know what I mean? That's all I was saying.
Man. So, I don't know. I just wanted to point this out. Like, Ayton is reminding me of that type of person. And tell me in the chat, anybody, if you've ever met this type of person. I think we all have. You know, there was this kid in my high school who was new to our school, and he was a little bit special, right? A little bit on the spectrum. The type of kid that you would never disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just better than that. Even as kids, you kind of know, like, you don't treat this, like, you got to be nice to this kid, right? Like, he's not all there. I'm not saying Ayton is. This is Ayton is not like that. I'm just saying, okay. So this specific kid was like this, okay? But this kid was impossible to like. Like, yes, he was in a special box where you need to treat him with kid gloves, but he would do things that were impossible to like. Like, he wouldn't stop freestyle rapping, okay? And he's wider than both of you put together. And they weren't good. And this was right around the time that 8 Mile had come out. And this kid thought he was living 8 Mile. And you want to be nice to him. You don't want to call him out for trying to be a rapper when that's never going to happen. You know, and but he would do things other than the rapping. He was just so annoying. That's how I feel about Ayton. Everything about him, I want to love him. I want to support him. I want his jersey. I want to have his back, but he won't stop doing things to piss me off and put me in this mood like I can't support him. Ever met anyone like that, Romp?
Well, me and Sunsky were watching the game, and I was like, Now this might get me canceled in 2021, but I like jokingly said, I was like, it seems like DeAndre Ayton has like a little autism in him. Like there's just something off about him. Like like
Cancel Romp immediately.
like it's a joke, obviously. Obviously he doesn't, but there's like the way he runs, like I don't I get it.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I countered Romp by saying it's not that, it's his confidence. And Ayton doesn't run. Ayton jogs up court.
Yeah, he does jog.
He jogs. I barely seen DeAndre Ayton run. When Cat had that breakaway dunk, he fucking ran.
Big ass is booking, bro. Like, damn, like you can tell. Okay, do you remember that layup that he did where it was towards the end of the game? Important time. Cat is going full speed with his left.
The chat loves it.
He jumps. Cat jumps with his left hand on the left side, switches it, cradles it under with his right hand, and lays it up on the left side of the backboard with his right hand. Or do you know what I'm talking about? And in that moment, I realized Ayton doesn't have any of the tools that he has. Like the closest thing I've ever seen Ayton do athletically to that was that mysterious behind the back dribble that he put on the floor. Shout out to him for that. That was pretty nice the other night. Sick. You know, but like Cat, I could tell he was going to be tired as hell. He hits that bucket. I think he got fouled. He went to the ground. They're trying to pick him up and he's like, no, give me a second.
There
and he lays there and catches his breath.
There were flashes of where Ayton looked good. Like he looked engaged in some plays, but I shouldn't be saying that about my number one overall pick. You know what I mean? Like there were times where he back tapped, certain rebounds. He had nice plays. He had that early dunk from Mikal Bridges where Bridges dished it off to him and Ayton just fucking slammed it down. Like he has flashes. And it shows potential of what he can do. I don't know.
This year, it's not consistent. Yeah. It's just this year it's not consistent.
Again, that's what I'm saying. We shouldn't be saying that about our number one fucking overall pick, man, who's a big man.
If you gave me sophomore Ayton, I would never say a bad thing about him. 18 points and 12 rebounds last year?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll take that all day. That sophomore Ayton wins us a title in the next 3 years with CP3. This Ayton, I don't know. And you're saying he looks a little right, Romp?
No, I didn't say that.
No, you didn't? Okay.
Exactly that.
Nice revisionist history. Good. That's smart. So he's not. We always say he's just low T. And I mean, there's something to that. There's something to that because in the beginning of last season, first game of the season, he comes out like gangbusters against Luka. We win the game. He looks terrific. Wake up in the morning, he gets popped for PEDs. Ever since that moment, he just has not been the same. And maybe he was taking PEDs in college. We know he was getting paid in college. I'm never getting followed by Ayton, bro. I'm never getting followed by Ayton after
me
this.
either. But Gabe, I want to ask you this. Like, so I didn't know about the PEDs. No, I didn't know he got paid in college or whatever. Like, I feel like Aiden's kind of the guy who's like played basketball because he's tall and he was just really good at it naturally. Like, do you think he like has that love for the game?
Here's the thing about Ayton, and I don't even know if Suns Geek knows this. He probably does, but this is something that I've heard about Ayton. He didn't start playing basketball until late in life. And when he used to go to AAU camps, they called him I think they called him TFN, which was tall for nothing. They clowned him in AAU, and he was new. So you play, Romp. You've played with big guys. As soon as they walk on the court, you're thinking, yo, we're good. Like, if this dude can play half as good as he is tall, we're good. And then they don't have hands, Ayton, right?
Every big guy.
Then they can't shoot, they can't dribble, they can't bend. I think that was him when he was going through his little growth spurts and becoming 7 foot. They called him tall for nothing or tall for no reason, something like that. And then all of a sudden he developed himself late because he hasn't been hooping his whole life. That's the thing with him. And I don't think he takes cardio seriously. You know what I'm saying? And I
He
don't.
struggle with that for like years.
What do you think that whole jogging up the court is?
Yeah, but Embiid is a
I don't
lot
have
better
gas.
than
I
Ayton.
think that's just him
even out of
naturally
shape.
doing that.
Embiid.
Dude, we used to think Ayton. First of all, this was like rookie year, so pardon us, Romp. We used to think that Ayton was going to give Embiid a run for his money, and it was going to be like, Titans clashing. No, this year we've come to realize that Embiid spits on Ayton. Okay, that he steps on him on the way to the rim. It's crazy. What did you ever think that Ayton and Embiid were going to be? Did you think Ayton could ever come close to Embiid?
At the beginning of the season, I was calling him Walmart version of Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Romp and I were always. Yeah.
That was actually a compliment, I would say, Walmart version of Joel Embiid. But now he's not living up to that. I will say this. I think the thing that separates elite centers compared to DeAndre Ayton is, first of all, every elite center, Jokic, Cat, you saw tonight, Embiid, they can all dribble and handle and create offense for themselves. They don't have to rely on a point guard passing them the ball. Cat was freaking doing step backs tonight. And if you want to be an elite center in today's game, you have to be able to do that. And other than that crazy move, which came out of nowhere the other night, I've never seen Ayton dribble, or when he does dribble, it's kind of scary to watch because you think he's going to turn the ball over. But that's missing in his game. And like, if you want to be like elite center, you need to have that.
Burner account says there were 3 first-round picks in this game. 2 of them had 40. Guess who they were?
Oh,
damn, Burner, you are a savage.
Anthony Edwards, you're looking great, bro. What can I say? Hat
Dude,
tip. I mean,
can I go on my Anthony Edwards rant? And Romp, I know you're going to follow this up, man. I was saying this to Romp during the whole game. This kid, who's like 19, I think, looks like a veteran. You heard it here first. He's strong. He attacks the basket. He's athletic. He didn't give a fuck if it was Chris Paul in front of him, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder. This dude was lighting up not really threes, but any shot he wanted. He did have 4 threes in the game. Now, he did shoot like 15 for 31 from the field, but who gives a fuck? He had 40 points? This kid can fucking play, man. That's my Anthony Edwards rant. Romp, you made a video about him. Go for it.
Dude, his body is crazy. I mean, he made Jay Crowder like
throw him to the ground.
Like unbelievable. Like at 19 years old, that dude has an NBA ready body. Mm-hmm. That's a crazy thing. And he was just getting to the lane at ease and just finishing through contact, getting fouled. Anthony Edwards deserves to be in the Rookie of the Year conversation. I'm not saying he should get it over LaMelo, but
he deserves to be in the Yep.
There's some people that just like giving the award to Melo already.
Like Romp, didn't you tweet out during the game? Anthony Edwards is going for 40, but LaMelo's still trending on Twitter.
Yeah,
it should have been the opposite or whatever. You guys know what I mean.
It's just because he's on the Timberwolves, and
yeah. And of course, the Suns would give the Timberwolves their 10th win of the season, and of course, Anthony Edwards would go off for 40 against the Suns.
Iverson vlog says next Suns Geek video, the DeAndre Ayton conspiracy. Did Ayton take PEDs or whoever you say in college? You should do it with an Alex Jones voice. Listen here, everybody. They're giving DeAndre Ayton forced inoculations. That's what the problem is.
Kim looks really good now.
It could be better.
Yeah, Cameron's looking good. Yo, Cam Johnson, didn't have him again tonight. I think that's been biting us. So what do we have? 2 losses in the last 3 games or 4 games? And we've had no Cam. He's a glue guy.
You know what? We're still 26-13 though, man. And I kind of want to go off what Coach said earlier. 1 game at a time, because even though I was bitching earlier in the season about the Suns being 8-8 and losing to, worse teams, I mean, think about hopefully how much better we're going to be like in a month, in a 1 short month. I mean, we've got 2 months of the season left. Then the playoffs are going to start. Like, we are clicking on so many cylinders right now, despite this terrible loss. And hopefully Ayton improves too, because we're going to need him in the playoffs and we're going to need him bad. I was telling Romp this earlier. DeAndre Ayton's kind of like the keys to your car. Like, you need DeAndre Ayton in the playoffs, and he's got to be the key in the playoffs. Coach?
100%. It's not even a question. You got to win down low in the playoffs. You got to get those tough rebounds. I'll never understand the DeAndre Ayton fanfare. I won't understand it. I get that he's 22, but in no way, shape, or form can you look me in the eye and say he is elite at anything. Elite, and when I mean elite, we mean top 3 in their position. Okay?
Or even top 5.
We can say he's great at some things,
Mhm.
but when was the last time you saw him go out on the perimeter and defend somebody like he did last year or the year before?
Or even this season, earlier this season.
It's just not happening. Things aren't happening with him, and it's annoying, and I'm tired of it, and people are just putting up with it, and everything's fine when we have a gap to get a damn championship. What are you guys talking about? Are you still talking about the timeline? Are you still talking about building for the future? Let's acquire draft picks? No, we're talking about winning a championship, and you need a dude that has hustle, that has heart, that's going to go all out. And this man ain't doing it right now. He's not doing it. He's not. Go get Vucevic. Sasha Vucevic.
It had that. You had to bring him up. I mean, you know what we need? We need to get like
get Vucevic.
We need a little like countdown, right? Like a little counter. Is like there's always a clock counting down to him saying we need Vucevic. Just a matter of when. So Roy says, imagine Ayton hearing us talking shit, and then he goes off for 50 tomorrow. I'm sorry, wouldn't he have to take somewhere around 20 shots to do that? That will never happen. And it's not for lack of trying. They throw him the ball, and he throws it right back. So I just don't see that happening, man. I'm starting to just go ahead. I'm compartmentalizing it. I'm just eating the suffering from picking him over Luka. I'm just internalizing it. It happened.
No.
It happened.
No, stop. We need to stop that right there. Here's why we need to stop that. I do not believe if we had Luka, we would be a championship contender team. We are a better team, all-around players team with Chris Paul at the helm. I firmly 100% believe that.
We would have been in a better franchise position because we could have used Luka has so much more value. So say he comes to Phoenix and it's just not working, but everyone can see that Luka's being Luka. It's just not working. And we pick Booker. Okay. That's an easy trade. That's a trade that nets you a couple of first round picks and some players. Ayton doesn't net you shit. We ain't getting cat for Ayton. But what could we get for Luka if it came down to it? A hell of a lot more. So, I mean, we whiffed. Like, Ayton is not a bust. He's not a bust because he's serviceable. But the draft pick was a whiff. And that's the distinction.
That's a big difference for sure.
It is, right? And we conflate those and get those confused sometimes. And people just assume when you're saying, yeah, we made the wrong pick, that you're going into, oh, he's a bust. He's not a bust. Nope. He's a serviceable big when he feels like it. I don't know, man. Gross night, dude.
I do think it would have been worse off. Okay, tell me what's better in your mind. Lose a close one tonight, which we still had the chance at the end to get a 3 to tie it or something like that, right? Would you rather lose a close one like this and blow them out tomorrow, or get blown out tonight and then win, or get blow them out tonight and win close, or lose tomorrow? Probably lose tomorrow.
Good for you. You found a silver lining. You're right. I would rather lose the first one and then win the second one to feel better leaving the situation. But I mean, it's really a moot point in my opinion, because nothing was going to make me happy other than beating both of these teams.
Both
of these games. Same team.
Correct. From a psychological standpoint, when you're going from beating these last... Oh, my gosh. Was it Memphis that we beat? Yeah, it was Memphis that we beat. Wow. Beating them, beating the brakes off of Minnie 2 times in a row going into the Laker game. Or is it better to kind of lose one of these games and then you can be like, yo, we still got to turn this around. We still got things we need to do. We can't do this. We can't do that. Go into tomorrow's game because you play them right away. I guarantee you, Kat and Ant do not even score 30, above 30. I'll take bets on that if anybody wants. And we're going to blow them out tonight. or tomorrow night, and then we go into the Lakers game with a different psyche, as opposed to blowing them out tonight, losing tomorrow, and then what? If you're gonna choose, I think this was it. But we all said on the podcast we honestly think that they're probably gonna drop one of these games.
You said that, bro. I was completely off of that, dude. I thought we win both these games easy. This team is not built like this. Like, I don't know what that was tonight. I think that was just the way the Suns are susceptible to losses because they don't take every team seriously. They just don't. And it bit them in the ass tonight. Yeah. That's all that was. You put us in a playoff series against that team. What is it like? You win 6 out of 7 games if you had to. I mean, that's a 6-game series or a 5-game series.
You guys lost to the Cavs earlier, and you made a whole video about it. And I was talking to you about this earlier before.
Man, I forgot about that game? Damn it, Geek.
I was kind of comparing this earlier. Like, do you see any similarities to the Suns and the Sixers, like especially in losses like this, or like in back-to-back situations like this?
I would say tonight for the Suns, I think Booker was hot in the first half, and then he kind of cooled off in the second half. And CP3 was kind of like mediocre tonight in terms of his level of play. The thing about the Sixers, when they lose, it's because Embiid and Tobias don't have their elite level on offense. And there's kind of this thing where we don't know who the third guy is. But on nights where everyone's clicking, it's either Ben Simmons on offense helping out Joel. And I think the Suns are in this weird like position where they don't have like a third guy. Like tonight, Mikal Bridges was unbelievable. Like his playmaking was wild tonight.
How the fuck have we not talked about Mikal Bridges?
And I want to ask you guys this: do you trust Aiden more as a third option, or do you trust Mikal Bridges more?
Yes.
And I'm gonna answer and say, I think the Suns should try to use Mikal more in like the pick and roll. Like give him some more like leeway, because the only way he really scores is like cutting, fast breaks, pull up threes, and sometimes mid-range shots. But I feel like you could give him like a pick and roll here and there, and he can play make for others. I don't know if that's just – I feel like there's more to Mikal than what the Suns are giving him. That's just my opinion.
It's not a bad point. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, Romp, about Mikal. How do you feel? Did we get one over on you for Zaire Smith? How do they not take a homegrown hometown kid whose mother works for the organization, and this kid just is coming off of a national championship?
To be honest,
what was that?
I am happy for Mikal, because if we would have drafted him, as you saw, he got the Sixers curse in his first season. Like he had a hitch in his shot. So, like, whenever you're drafted by the Sixers, there's going to be a shooting issue. Markelle Fultz. Ben Simmons still doesn't shoot a three. So, I'm happy as a person for Mikal, but as a fan, obviously, I'm sad. But at the same time, if he came to the Sixers, there's no way he would have been a good shooter. That's just the reality of the situation. I mean,
you guys have cleaned house since then, too.
Yeah. And
new management, new coach, everything.
And plus Zaire Smith was actually supposed to be, like, good, but that didn't happen. So.
Is he still there?
No, he's in the G League. Probably out of the league soon.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, real quick, Julius Alexander, if you want to put that comment up. If Suns don't trade for Ayton for Cat, or at least Vucevic, or even Miles Turner.
You think they're going to give us Miles Turner for DA? Like, how about we package up? Man, I shouldn't say this.
Say it.
I was going to say, how about we put some dog shit in a brown paper bag, light it on fire on their porch, and then run away, and then say, hey, can we have Turner? Are you kidding me? They're not giving us Turner for Ayton. Ayton is sabotaging all of his trade value.
Can we please talk about Mikal Bridges, please? Like, let's just cut the Ayton bullshit. Let's just talk about Mikal Bridges.
Please.
I'm sorry. Let's
Please
just
talk about Mikal. He's got long arms.
String cheese arms.
Longest arms I've ever seen.
Did you know that he's 6'8"?
Yes.
Is he?
Mikal Bridges, 34 minutes tonight, 6 for 10 from the field, 4 threes, 17 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds.
8 assists.
Like, does anybody know if that's his career high or not? Like, that's got to be his career high. He freaking played good. He was attacking the basket, passing the ball, hitting those corner threes, playing well. I mean, you can't really stop Anthony Edwards tonight, but he fucking tried. That's my Mikal Bridges rant. Romp has a theory, too, that we're not using Mikal Bridges the way we should be. He kind of talked about that earlier. And
I agree.
dude, just
Especially with the way your offense is run, it's kind of like through Chris Paul and Devin Booker just creating. And that's kind of why Aiden isn't scoring as much, in my opinion. But at the same time, I feel like it's better because I would rather go with a CP3 and Devin Booker offense than an Aiden and Devin Booker offense. So I think they should just give Mikal some more leeway and just let him run some pick and roll, see what happens. Because you saw on the open floor tonight, he was making every right decision.
Yeah, he looks so good tonight. And I think we're a different team when we have him and Cam Johnson, especially if Cam's hitting too. It's like pick your poison. Which light-skinned murderer do you want to have kill you tonight from the corner, from anywhere from three, bro? They just light that shit up. It's beautiful.
They're homies too, man. They hang
They
out
are,
off the
dude.
court.
Man, I
They're
miss
about
Cam
the same
Johnson,
age.
bro.
We
And
are on this is day 15 or 16 since we found out he's in COVID protocol. So we'll see. We don't even hear anything that he's active or anything, that he's rejoined the team. There's nothing like that. So he definitely got COVID. He definitely had some sort of symptoms.
Right.
Who knows what kind of lingering.
They're keeping him away from the team.
When Saric had it, he was out for a month, wasn't he? I mean, and then he rolled his ankle afterwards, so that kept him out longer. But he was out for a long time. And the one thing that the Suns do correctly is they don't bring anybody back that's not ready, which I really appreciate. And favorite Blazers, CJ the GOAT, it's got to be Clyde Drexler for me, man.
Oh, you're going all time?
Favorite Blazer.
You going all time?
Current is Dame. That's a
Of course,
horrible
of course.
Obviously, all time. I got to go with Clyde the Glide.
Oh,
I mean,
can you guys hear me okay?
yeah. So I'm gonna take a we got to take care of it. My favorite Blazer of all time, Scottie Pippen.
What?
He played for the Blazers.
Can I ask you guys a random question?
What's good?
What did you guys think of Chris Paul tonight? Because here's the thing. He started off the game really slow, but then he got like really hot late in the fourth. But I kind of feel like he wasn't a huge impact. I don't know. Am I crazy for insulting Chris Paul like that?
It could be better.
He had 4 steals.
5 assists though, man, and he only had 2 turnovers. I felt like he had more than 2 turnovers.
Yeah, I know. Well, the whole fucking team turned the ball over. It was embarrassing tonight. Everybody had a fucking turnover.
You guys, yeah. You guys remember when Chris Paul was going through that scoring tear that literally, I think, got him into the All-Star game? But not only that, they had pretty much just given up on Ayton. We're back to Ayton. They just gave up on Ayton.
Cut the conversation.
during that run. Go back and watch the tape. They literally just were like, all right, dude, fine. You don't want to score? I'll take step backs. Hit.
Yep.
And then also Chris Paul was taking, like, I feel like 5 to 8 more mid-range jumpers off of the pick and roll. And I know exactly what you got. You guys know what I'm talking about when he abuses that pick and roll and does his little leaner from like 8 feet away from the rim. He was taking like 5 to 8 more of those. But I feel like he's back in the mode of trying to be quarterback and get everybody involved. And it's like, which do you want from him? I don't know. I don't know if I can complain.
Hey, do you guys know? I gotta share this with you. Do you guys know what this means? Ayton deleted a tweet. Did you guys see this yet?
What?
No.
Ayton deleted a tweet from tonight, and let's not talk about Ayton, but no.
Oh, we're talking about Ayton.
What does this mean? I'm sharing it right now, Gabe. What? I don't know what this means. What does chain gang mean?
Chain gang.
You got 14
Dunking
points
on
and
the
6
rims with chains on it? I don't know.
you got
Did he
14
post
points
this?
and 6 rebounds. What are you doing?
Did he post this after the loss?
Yeah, and then I guess deleted it. I've got another thing I want to show you in a second, but I just
Does he think he had a good game?
Chris Paul probably took his phone and took it down.
Chris Paul's like, slapped that shit out of his hand the second he hit. He's like, "Oh, you deleted it, Chris."
I want to back something up that Rom said. I remember like Chris Paul literally walked in, like it was someone was shooting a free throw and he walked in between DA and said something to him and walked away. Like he was frustrated, man. I don't blame him. Did you find that tweet yet, Coach?
No.
I was gonna say something kind of petty and salty. I'm not trying to attack whoever posted it on the Suns social media team, but someone from their social media team tweeted like that a boy DA or something like that, and they had like the devil emoji, and I was like, this tweet did not age well. That's embarrassing. Delete that tweet, Suns social media team. And I'm never getting hired by the Suns ever.
Social media ran by teams is just the absolute worst. I don't
unless
even
you're the
follow
Sacramento
damn
Kings, who
Suns.
have the greatest social media
Do they?
account ever. Yeah.
Is that because of Richaun Holmes' mom?
They let her run it.
Hey,
They
don't
should.
disrespect Mama Holmes like that.
Burner
Hey.
account says the real deleted tweet was Gabe gonna catch these hands. Bro, DeAndre Ayton could beat the shit out of me. Let's
Oh,
get
yeah.
that on. Let's get
Damn.
that on
He
record.
kicked
I would,
all of our fucking
oh,
asses.
at the same time, bro. He's so much bigger
Yeah.
than us.
He turned into Kareem in those
Oh.
Bruce Lee movies and
Or-
fucking kicked all of our asses.
Or Suns Geek, he'd lean in for a punch, right? He'd twist them hips, and then he'd be like, "Oh no!" and go in the fetal position, and I kick his ass in the just
Like he did
kidding.
against
Love you,
Miles
DA.
Turner. Oh,
And then
Please follow
somebody
up.
else who is also a Suns fan and Bears fan, Gabe, just tweeted out, "My guy's gonna ball out tomorrow," and he had a picture of DeAndre Ayton. That needs to stop.
Hey, no. Well, look, I mean, I don't want people to turn on DA. I don't want people to start like, dude, he just doesn't seem like the type of guy that angry, like, reinforcement is not going to work. Like, I think he needs to be like
Loved
brought
and
along,
coddled and-
kind of, because bro, he's a millennial through and through. No offense, Romp. All right,
You're
the
good.
dude
Rom's
is
like 12 years old.
the dude is a straight up millennial. You can see it in the way he acts. He's got no get up and go, no self actualization, no drive to make anything happen, man.
So I know
All
that
the
my
more reason to trade him. Go ahead, Geek. Sorry.
sorry to cut you off, Coach. I know that my DeAndre Ayton video was a little controversial, but I said something in there, and I'm paraphrasing here. I was like, I feel like most of us believe in DeAndre Ayton, but it's because of that belief that we have such high expectations for him. Would you guys all agree with that?
Completely. I would.
Romp?
Yeah, I think the thing that pisses me off about fans in general, I know I could talk about Sixers fans like this, is you guys made that video and like watching it, I feel like it was fair criticism. Like now you're painted as a DeAndre Ayton hater. Like I
Right.
criticize Ben Simmons like every other day.
It's true.
I'm
Watch Romp's videos.
I'm criticized as a Ben Simmons hater, but I'm
Mhm.
just I know his potential and I want him to reach it. Like we're not haters. And we watch every game. Like I don't
Mhm.
criticize like other teams that bad because I don't watch every game. But the Sixers, I watch every game, put my blood, sweat, and tears into
Mhm.
being a fan. I'm gonna hold my stars accountable, and that's what you guys are doing. So don't call you guys aren't haters. That's just
And here's the thing. You guys all know this. I was Devin Booker's biggest mother effing critic at the start of the year. So keeping your stars accountable. Coach,
Yeah,
you got
man.
any thoughts on that, Coach?
Oh yeah. We're not haters.
You're wrong, Suns Geek.
No. Listen, we're not haters. We call it like it is, and you know what? We're right.
I wish you were lying, bro. Wish you were
And
lying.
that's all I'm gonna say. You're hating because we're right.
Mm.
you
And it
don't wanna be
hurts,
proven wrong.
bro.
You don't
But
wanna
it
be proven wrong.
hurts. It hurts to watch in real time as
Rob, you
you've
know that.
whiffed on a number one overall pick, the first number one overall pick your team has ever gotten. And we know the way the draft is set up. Okay, Cleveland sends in their weird looking 14-year-old stepson, and he goes in and he gets the first draft pick for the Cavs every year. Okay, so we know we're not getting the first pick ever again, especially now that we're relevant. So it's like we had this one chance, and it feels like a hard whiff, man, and it sucks. That's where the expectations come from. His draft level. Can we talk about Booker? Because Booker had a hell of a game, and I don't want it to get lost.
Can I say one more thing about Ayton?
Please. Please,
for it.
we're gonna go back to Aiden. Believe me, it's
I
inevitable.
think the one defense for Aiden is that his defense is good, but you got to put in perspective the Suns have no other rim protectors. Like they literally have Dario Saric as their backup center, so it makes Aiden's defense look better than it is, if that makes any sense. Like if you had another
Big
center on this
facts.
roster, I would like to see this team because I feel like DeAndre Aiden looks better because you don't have a backup center. And when
That's
you
a
did, it was
really good
Damian
point.
Jones, who was
I honestly
terrible.
haven't thought of that until you just said it. That's a really good point, Rob.
Yeah.
So Booker's game, here's the thing, and this is kind of a criticism towards the Suns. He had 35 points tonight, but I feel like because of everything else that happened, his 35 points kind of gets overlooked. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
I look at the turnovers in the last 2
Right?
to 3 minutes way more than the 36 points before.
Yeah.
You're that clutch dude. You gotta come in clutch, man. In the last 2 to 3 minutes, you can't be turning it over like that. This is the stuff that we were talking about when we brought up Booker Beal trades.
Ugh.
This is the kind of play from the beginning of the season. I think it was just the whole team tonight played like we were 8-8. That's what it felt like tonight.
Booker
But-
had
but
5
go on
turnovers.
Booker, yeah.
And at one point he was leading the league in turnovers, and I was his biggest critic. And you're right. It was the turnover. I forgot that there was 2 late turnovers or whatever late in the game. And
5
but
total,
it was a
man.
team effort, though.
was
Everybody had
terrible,
a fucking turnover tonight. It was
Yes.
bad. Oh, I was going to say this too. Dario Saric didn't look like himself tonight,
He played
man.
awful. Everybody played awful.
When Dario
Nader
plays
was
good, we
awful.
fucking win.
Bridges had a good game.
Yeah,
Bridges
it
was
was
the
Bridges
only
and
one that
like,
looked good tonight.
yeah, you're right.
It
was Bridges.
No, it was a whole team effort because when dudes were getting to the rim, they were all looking at each other and going like this.
You're right.
No, it was a team piss poor effort. So we don't know if Mikhail was supposed to switch out, what their defense is when they have 3 guys kind of on one side, one in the corner, kind of one at top wing and one at the wing. We don't know what kind of defense they want. If they want the front guy to drop, the middle guy to drop or the guy that's down in the corner. So they were all looking at each other. It was awful all the way around. This was the 8-7 team that dropped to 8-8.
Ugh.
That's what this was. This was an overall horrible performance, and
Not
again,
our worst loss of the season, but one of them.
this is to the worst team.
Right.
This is to the worst team. So
Right.
I'd say this is
Top.
definitely on par with the at New Orleans
This is-
down by like 35.
that's-
yeah.
And then the
That's a
Washington
good. That's a
game.
really good question, then, man. Is this the
The
worst
worst loss
loss
of
of
the
the
season.
year?
From where it
And
is in the season, yeah.
Because here's the thing, I can forgive losing to the Nets, even though that was an incredible fashion
You're
to
right.
James fucking Harden. But like to like the Wizards and who else did we get? Like the Pistons, like embarrassing losses, man. That's why I do these rant videos. Romp, go ahead and attack.
I would say it's not really about the loss that you guys are pissed off. I would say like yesterday, the Sixers lost to the Bucks. I wasn't mad that we lost to the Bucks without Embiid. I was mad because Ben Simmons just disappeared in overtime, and we were running our offense through Furkan Korkmaz.
And Tobias Harris had a bad game.
Things I get mad about at bad losses is what could reoccur that could cause another loss. That's why you guys are blaming DeAndre Aiden, because you know it's not going to get fixed. You're blaming the lack of depth at the center position. So you're not really mad about the loss. You're mad about what's going to keep occurring that you guys can't fix.
We're still
100%.
26-13, so I agree, Romp.
100%.
26-13 is a beautiful place to be, man. And we
Well,
do
right.
not take it for granted. Like
Romp,
we,
you are 100% right, though.
Yeah.
this is just one of those games, man, where I can't get on this podcast and be cheery
No.
losing to the best team. Like I don't care what our record
I'll be
is.
cheery.
Hey, here's to you, Geek.
Right? You guys are intoxicating yourselves into being
What are,
cheery.
what are you drinking there? What kind was it?
It's a Memphis brew my sister and brother introduced me to. It's called Fireside Amber Ale.
Beautiful.
This
I
is
love
not
ambers.
sponsored.
I love
I got a
ambers.
little high
It's
west
weird because it
fashion
tastes
going
like a dark beer, but it also tastes like a light beer. It's delicious. My first Memphis beer since I've lived here for about a year. It's great.
Romp, how long until you're able to drink?
1 year.
1 year.
We're getting romp wasted
How
on a
long
live
has
stream.
it been?
Remember
How
them
long- hold on.
days.
How long has
Post-COVID.
it been since you had your first drink?
We don't need to talk about that.
Romp's a good guy. What are you
Hey.
talking about?
He
Romp-
goes to Bible study.
Yeah,
Romp,
Gabe,
be real,
by the
bro.
way- By the way, Gabe, you're probably getting blocked by Aiden after this podcast, and probably me.
I don't
Romp-
even talk to Aiden. Like, I don't ever even say nothing. I've never even tagged him. He shouldn't even know I exist.
Romp,
you
be
know?
real, bro. You were drinking during the Sixers process days. You were getting wasted.
Oh, those were the best times. What do you mean? I love those days, man. No expectation, just watching TJ McConnell ball up. I didn't care if we lost.
So I want to get into something else real quick, and I want to say I thought Langston Galloway played a hell of a game tonight. I specifically watched him on defense, and though he's just not quicker and as physical as say Nader or anybody else. It's just not his game, but he played hard. I'm not gonna say he didn't. He played hard. He's just not quite there physically and gifted, right? But offensively, I thought he played a hell of a game. I mean, the shot's still there, and his finger roll is so slick. I love watching a Langston Galloway finger roll now. So let's hope that he stays in, because when Cam gets back, I'd almost rather have Cam than Nader, but Cam's defense is way worse than Nader, so that's a tough one. But let's bring up Torrey Craig and how I really think Torrey Craig could have really helped tonight. And by
He was
getting
there, by
Torrey-
the way.
Yeah, he was. And by getting Torrey Craig, I just get the very first thing I heard when we traded him for cash considerations. Are we about to take Craig, use him, put him in Cam Johnson's position? Are we about to trade Cam Johnson and DeAndre Ayton in a package? I got that weird feeling, and I don't want to believe it. I don't want to trade Cam Johnson.
Not Cam,
But,
bro.
like,
Don't do it.
I know. I completely agree. I just get this weird feeling because he.
If you wanna get-
hold on, he feels
Yeah.
a more defensive, more of a defensive, whatever you want to call it, than Cam need fit, whatever it is, and he can still shoot the three, right? So he's a more experienced Cam. I don't know. I just got that feeling like now
He is 30 years old.
Somebody's expendable.
Shout out to Jananums on Twitter. Thought about the Ayton trade. So this kind of leads into that, Jananums. If you want to trade DA and get something for him, unfortunately, and it's sad that we're at this point, you're going to have to attach something to that trade, I almost said Crowder. I mean, Crowder's been playing okay lately. He had 7 points tonight, as Humble
where you're going.
points out. Somebody's going to have to be attached. Nobody's just taking DA
Crowder's not going
and giving us Sasa Vujicic, as Coach likes to call him. All right, like
We need to
that-
get Sasa Vujicic's picture
that's not
somewhere on this wall.
happening.
Swear to God.
Man.
He seems to be in every Valley podcast. We need to get a picture of him, like Romp
You're
has
right.
of Boban.
Right, and I'll pop it up here like this Frank pick. Right, it's Sasha talk
The
time,
real question is, do the Suns need Boban or not? That's
bro.
the
I would
real
take
question.
Every
Boban.
team
What would be
needs
a
a
better
Boban.
backup than Boban for
Every
for
team
Aiden?
chemistry,
Needs a
bro.
Boban.
And if Aiden
Seriously.
could learn to score on Boban in practice, that might really up his game, bro. Like it's all of a sudden like taking a tree out of the paint, and now you get to score without the tree there blocking your shot.
That would ruin his confidence. Like he would be worse if he got Boban.
Very possible, man. Very possible.
Would you guys take Andre Drummond for like a second round pick or a
For a
first?
second round pick? Absolutely.
Even a second round pick? You're not even
well-
trying to get that first?
Well,
For Ayton,
considering we're not gonna have a high draft pick, I'd give him our first for Drummond. But there it is. Oh, get that purple and gold off the screen. You couldn't find a picture of him.
could find a Photoshop jersey of him in a Suns
Right?
jersey.
That's
I
what
didn't have enough time.
Unitracker, if you're watching, could you get on that for us? Could you put Sasha Vujicic in a Suns jersey to make Coach happy? So almost no Ayton in the third quarter due to foul trouble. Almost no Ayton in the fourth quarter. Actually, he did foul out. I think those fouls were ticky-tack, man. Like, I did not like the way he was getting
There was a lot of
refereed.
bad officiating, yeah.
Very bad night. But once again, we are not going to sit here and complain about officiating when we lost to the worst team in the NBA. Can't do it, man.
Hell
Can't do it.
No.
I don't know. I think Edwards played like 34 minutes, and I kind of want to give the Timberwolves coach some credit here. Edwards was on the bench like at the start of the fourth. That's really smart because he came in and just dominated. I just wanted to say that. Like I had noticed, I was like, oh man, Anthony Edwards is on the bench. I was like, fuck, because I was like, he's just gonna come in and win the game for them.
And he did.
So
I
know the Timberwolves like the worst team in the league, but still give them credit where credit's due. They
Hey.
fucking beat us tonight.
Hey, when was the last time 2 teammates scored 40 plus?
Right? Dude, even at
Somebody look
halftime
that
they were
up.
on fucking fire, man.
You gotta
Somebody look
think.
that up.
You gotta think that like Kyrie and Durant might have done it this year,
Right?
when Durant was playing. At some point Kyrie and Harden are gonna do it.
I'm gonna go to my boys over at Stat Moose. Follow Stat Moose, by the way, if you don't. Those guys know, and they probably have some kind of stat about it. Let's see.
Burner account says a former first overall pick is not even worth another first of any number.
Bro.
Ooh, that's
That
gotta hurt.
feels bad.
Here we go, guys. Teammates with 40 points in the same game since 2010. Durant and Westbrook 3 times. Cat and Wiggins, Westbrook and PG, Kawhi and PG, and then Cat and Edwards tonight. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Lord and Savior, forgive
To
me.
make you guys feel better, we traded our number 1 pick, Markelle Fultz, for Jonathan Simmons. So it could be worse.
But what happened with Simmons? He was balling out
I
for the
feel
Spurs.
bad for Markelle Fultz
He just got old.
and injured, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, burner account says that Frank pick gives hope. I'm gonna go ahead and slap that up.
Markelle Fultz has had
Listen.
bad luck.
Torrey Craig is going to give us some extra depth there. I would already trust Torrey Craig more than Abdul Nader.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really excited for that because the reason I feel like Javon Carter and Langston Galloway got pulled was because they started playing out of their role and stopped playing within themselves, right? You saw Javon Carter hit that 3 to end the third quarter. Like, that's your role, dude. Like, that's your role. Hit that shot. Don't go out and jack up every shot you can. Same with Langston Galloway. We know your shot is wet when you're in rhythm, when we run the play for you. Don't be trying to go out and get other things when we're trying to run another play. Abdul Nader is doing that exact same thing, and he's pressing it, and it doesn't look good either. He looks terrible over the last 2 games. So I really think Torrey Craig is going to solidify that position, which they tried to get him, in the offseason before.
Shout out
So
to
that-
Gambo for that. I honestly didn't know that.
No. I mean, I bet you there's a lot of things we don't know, but I really
Mhm.
think he's going to help solidify that second unit, and then maybe do what a lot of these guys have done and play good and get to play some fourth quarter minutes. But
Coach,
man,
thank you for
Crowder
bringing
was
that up.
awful.
I
Crowder
probably
was awful too.
I don't want to say I probably should have said that in my video, but I didn't think about that. Like, did they really bring Torrey Craig to kind of like maybe motivate that position? You're absolutely right about that. I honestly didn't think about that. That's a good thought.
I'm just trying to think of reasons why they would bring another guy in that position.
I mean, it's
Right.
defense too, obviously, but
You
like
can never have enough defense.
exactly, and you can never have enough wings too. And I think
Nader
you
has
said it earlier, he can hit the corner 3 from time to time. Yeah.
played his way into actual minutes
Mhm.
because he's a good defensive wing. So if he can do it,
And he attacks
I got-
the basket, man.
yeah. I want to go on Nader for just a couple of seconds here. Look, Nader, I know you're listening. All right.
He's
Hey,
watching,
Nader,
bro.
hater.
He's watching.
Listen up here, Pyramid Poppy. All right. I like
I hate
you.
that nickname, by the way.
I like you. You do?
I hate
love
it.
I love it. I think it's the best nickname on the Suns. So we appreciate you. Okay. We see you. You've helped
He could
here
steal
and there.
all of our girlfriends.
Probably. He's got a Jerry curl now. Could you just know your role, as Coach commented on my tweet? Know your gall-dang role, okay? Like, you have something that you do for us. It's called defense, and you score when it's available. You don't go hunting for shots.
No.
You don't come up on a fast break with 3 other people on the wing and decide, I'm taking it on 2 people, and then fucking smoke a layup when you have like 2 people you could have passed for wide open threes. You are not Booker. I get that you're light-skinned and handsome. I get that you have a 1 on your jersey, but that extra 1, it
Wow.
means something. Okay, it means Brandon Knight used to wear it. It means no one cares
Markieff
about
Morris
that number.
used to wear
Okay,
it.
no one.
Really?
Stop hunting for shots, Nader. Like, okay, I was at the gym tonight, real quick, hooping before the game started. I brought my boy. He's a soccer player. He doesn't ever play basketball. Okay, ever.
Soccer players can fucking play.
He
man.
has energy, right? He
Mhm.
hunts rebounds and all that stuff, right? It gets to the point where the other team stops guarding him and they just keep feeding. We keep feeding my buddy the ball, and he's too stupid not to shoot the ball, right? He's like, oh, I'm wide open. I'm jacking up a shot. There is a reason people are leaving you open. You are a spoon. A spoon is meant to eat soup. When you eat soup with a spoon, that's terrific. When you try to carve a steak with a spoon, you're not going to get anywhere, all right? Let the steak knives carve. You sit out there and scoop soup, Nader. Am I making any sense? Like, is this did you guys get that feeling from him at all? Like, he's just taking too many shots.
He's not playing within his role, and he's not playing within himself. He's completely stepping out of it and trying to be something more than
you know what it was, Coach? He's like, yo, we got the T-Wolves tonight. I'm taking my shots, bro. I'm going to hit 15 tonight. I might get 20.
100%. That was the whole team's problem tonight, man.
Romp, I know you don't watch every Suns game, Romp, but what do you think about Nader? Because you told me coming out of college he was really good, but like, I know you haven't probably seen him all season, but what do you think about Abdul Nader?
He's like should be the 11th man, and like cheering on the guys, in my opinion.
Well, but okay, I've been his biggest hater, bigger than anyone.
You have.
But he did win me over. I've learned that he can help the team. He just needs to stay in his damn lane, man.
Yeah,
getting out of it.
The only thing I'd say, and I made a whole video about this, I think we talked about it on like one of our first podcasts, is he does attack the rim. And you guys know Monty Williams, he rewards for stuff like that. He's probably freaking balling in practice, man. So that's probably why we keep seeing him on the court. I think he plays hard. I'm not saying that deserves like 6th, 7th, 8th man minutes, but the dude plays hard. I'll back him up on that.
Right. But as Gabe says, if it's within himself,
yeah,
within his role,
right?
When you step out of that, like Langston did, like Javon did, you're gonna get pulled.
You're right, dude.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nader gets pulled tomorrow and doesn't play.
Especially when Torrey Craig starts playing. Oh,
like as close of a game as tonight was in an abomination loss, wouldn't it be nice to have maybe like 3 or 4 of those bad Nader shots back? I mean, we could have used someone else shooting the ball in those instances in which it was not available for him, you know?
Facts.
So I just want to shout out the chat. Dude, you guys are awesome. All you dudes.
What a night.
Seeing people in here I never even seen before.
Shout out our guest, official Romp. Sorry, Romp 2.0.
Romp 2.0. Appreciate you, man. Geek, as always. Is it safe to say, Geek, you're going to kind of be like a regular panel member, maybe miss a few games here and there?
You said it perfectly, man. You're like last pod, you're like, we're adopting you, Geek. That's why I didn't even do my intro this time, man. I'm like, dude, I'm part of this podcast now.
Absolutely. So we have a new official. You heard it here.
Let's go.
Valley Podcast. All right. We made an honest man out of him. All right. We proposed. He accepted. We got on one knee. It was Coach. And we begged. And the man said he's going to be an actual panel member. We appreciate
I've cursed more podcasts more than I've done on my entire channel.
I noticed. That's why I said, man, I feel like we're just dragging you into the
You're bringing out the worst, but also the best in me.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Great. And we're never going to get followed by Ayton or anyone else.
Yeah. But Ayton's never going to follow me. He's never going to sign an autograph post-COVID.
But you know what I was thinking could be the future of this podcast, and the thing that potentially helps us really get successful, although I do feel like we're already on that path, is that once people come to the realization that what Coach said, we're right. Once people come to the realization that this was the podcast, no offense to the Suns jam session, or like I know those guys and who else? I mean,
Jeff Iota was
like
on our
no offense. I'm not saying that they don't call out Ayton, because they do. They do Ayton watch.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah.
But I would dare to say that we're a little bit more
aggressive.
Thank you. When it comes to Ayton, and maybe when people start getting their fill, like A week and a half ago, I turned on Ayton. I was wishy-washy. Every game was like, "Oh, but,"
Same here.
and
That
now
was me,
I've
dude.
turned. I feel like I've really actually turned my back. I feel comfortable saying it, and I feel like we're the first podcast to do that. And maybe, hopefully, that will get some more viewers for us because.
Sorry to cut you off, Gabe.
No, no,
you
I'm
know
done.
that
I'm done.
and Gabe, you said it perfectly. Romp,
Hey,
you know
real
that
quick,
I was
I gotta go, you guys. I got a screaming child all of a sudden. I gotta go check it out, but we're gonna be back tomorrow. Suns are gonna win. I love you guys.
We'll hold it down for
Keep
you,
your
Coach.
heads up because we're also gonna beat the Lakers, believe it or not.
Love you, Coach.
All right.
Yes,
See
Have
you
a good
later.
night, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just saying, Romp, you know this. I was super wishy-washy up and down about Ayton all season. You know that.
Positive, bro.
A little too positive about Ayton, but ever since he was nominated for the Western Conference Player of the Week, ever since then,
That was a good week, man.
and then it's been Ayton all season.
It's because the reason you guys are so hard on Aiden is because you know in the back of your head it's gonna cost you guys in the playoffs. You know that, and it's hard to admit it because I'm doing the same with Ben Simmons. Like I know there's gonna be a series where Ben Simmons just gets Embiid's having a bad game, Tobias isn't hitting shots, and Ben is just nowhere to be found. I know that's gonna happen. And I've been preaching it all season. And honestly, I can't wait to be like, I was right, but that's kind of yeah.
Go
But
back
you
to
guys
this
are the same
podcast.
way with Aiden. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys know it's gonna hurt you in the long run. And people don't realize that as Suns fans because they want to be optimistic. That's just how it is as a fan for most people. So
But here's the thing, Romp.
Yeah.
I said this to you today. Ben Simmons is better than DeAndre
Yeah.
Ayton.
It's
But you're right,
Ben
though.
Simmons is
I
a
agree.
top 5
yeah.
defender in the league. Aiden's not.
I'm not
Like,
taking anything away you said about Simmons because he's
Yeah.
you know how he is better than we do, but I'm just saying I you know how I feel about Ben Simmons.
Yeah, you see all the good stuff.
Yeah, I see all the good stuff about Ben Simmons. When they took away that smash of a dunk that he had yesterday, I forgot who it was on. They called the foul on him. I was like, dude, if Ben Simmons did that every fucking game, he'd be like LeBron, dude.
Yeah, exactly. He could be, if he wanted to, he could be the best player in the league, and that's
He's skinny LeBron with no jumper.
yeah,
And not as athletic,
literally
but kind of
shot
athletic.
a jumper yesterday and swished it, but he just refuses to shoot.
Iverson Vlogs, how dare you? I would never forget about my channel. There's just some nights I don't want to host.
Bro, Sunspeak is like freaking averaging 30 and 10 in his last couple videos. He's been killing it.
Bro,
really
I'm not
is.
like you, dude. I don't get like freaking 5,000, 7,000 views on
Bro,
each
what do you
video.
mean, bro? Your Langston Galloway videos got like 2K in a day.
By the
Everybody
way,
loves
Gabe,
Langston.
I don't want to expose all my secrets.
Torrey.
Romp knows
I meant
this.
Torrey Craig.
I'm going to be making a Mikal Bridges video. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to expose it. I'll tell you about it after.
I think it'll be rosy. I think it'll be a happy video, and I think it's about time. I think you need to put something happy out to calm everybody down.
I know everyone hates me after that DeAndre
Yes.
Ayton video.
You're gonna start getting dislikes. I think Gabe's goal should just be get blocked by every Suns player by the end of the season.
I
And
love
then-
so many of them though. Like it's really just Ayton. Like who I've even fallen in love with Pyramid Poppy. Like that should go to show that I'm willing to have any Suns players back. And that's an indictment on DA that I don't have his back.
Can you guys hold it down real quick? I got to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah, man.
These beers went right through me.
Go get it done, man.
Okay.
What do
back,
you, Gabe? What do you think of DJ Augustine? Because he's probably gonna get bought out by
So
the Rockets.
I'm willing to be wrong, right? I have seen Augustine Love. Okay. He's old, right?
True.
He's been in the league like what, 11, 12 years?
Yeah,
Our point guard position with what it is, considering we have Carter, who never even gets to play, and Cam Payne, who doesn't really get to play that much either, behind Chris Paul. I'm just so set with our backup PGs that I don't really get too interested in a journeyman point guard who's been in the league for that long. It's like, Okay, why don't we bring Raymond Felton in here? Like you spit.
That's
Like I get it. Augustine has a little bit of game, but would I take him over Javon Carter? Hell no. I don't even think I would take him one-on-one versus Javon Carter. Carter give him the little bulldog.
Javon Carter's kind of like he's like a shooting guard.
He is.
Body.
He is. That's exactly what we've determined is why his minutes have gone down.
I don't know. Campaign kind of scares me. I'm not going to lie.
So you guys had Ish Smith, right?
Yeah, that dude.
Salty flamed me for saying that. I've always said that Campaign reminds me of a slightly more talented Ish. Do you see any of that?
That's fair.
The speed, the first step.
Yeah, I don't know. Campaign's good, but like,
don't say Ish is better.
I would trust DJ Augustine more than Campaign in the playoffs.
In the chat, first of all, I love that Bernard's calling this a geek leak. How is your geek leak? But who would you guys rather have? Our current point guards or DJ Augustine? I'm willing to be wrong. I would trust DJ Augustine in the playoffs more.
Yeah, in the playoffs more. But
Roy said, would you bring Tyler Eulis back?
Dude, that dude fell off the face of
the earth. He did, man.
Bro, you might as well bring Gabe back. You see his Twitter video, bro? Come on now.
Bro.
Dude, I told Romp earlier, I was like, Gabe would probably kick all of our asses.
Bro,
he would. No, man. I gotta lose some weight, bro. I'm a little bit too beefy, right? I'm looking like a football player.
I'm taking notes so when we play basketball, I'll know how to.
I would love to play Gabe because he's like the first YouTuber I've seen that's like that I've talked to is like actually pretty good at basketball. So
Gabe, you've made it, man. You got called a YouTuber by a YouTuber.
Let's go. I do want to go ahead while we're on the subject of my basketball acumen. I want to bring up the fact that this lifetime league I play in, right? I went from a start. They put me at center when I first got in my first year because I was so rusty. So this is what I'm talking about, developing your game and how I wish that Ayton would develop his game, and I'm not seeing it. You guys saw Booker develop his game, right? When he came in, he was a Klay Thompson. That was it. This is your ceiling, bro. You're a shooter, and you stand there. Well, he said, no, I'm not having that. I see Cam Johnson doing that. Cam Johnson has decided, you know what? I don't want to just stand here. I'm going to learn how to dribble. Even though I suck now, I can get better, and he has. You don't see that with Ayton. I've done it myself personally. I'm nowhere near the talent level of anyone on the Suns. But I went from being in a league where I was the center, and I'm averaging like 10 points, 12 points, and like 10, 11 rebounds to getting all the way to the point where I was bringing the ball up, allowed to play the 1 and allowed to play the 2. And it's just because I love basketball, and I literally had to sacrifice actual 2K time. Because that's my other passion, right? Is just sitting there playing 2K, or do I go really shoot? Another thing I hear a lot of people saying about Ayton is that they think he plays too much 2K and he's not in the lab enough. It always comes back to Ayton, doesn't it, guys? I'm so sorry.
Bro, some players get that money and they're like, oh, I made it. I'm good. And honestly, if I made it to NBA, I would probably be like that too. I would be like, I want to be the 11th guy off the bench. I don't even want to play. I want to go home and play 2K. Like, that's just, I feel like some players think like that. That's just what it is.
Here's the thing. First off, congratulations, DeAndre Ayton, by the way, for having a child. That's awesome.
This
was happening before he had the kid. You know what I mean? So that's all I want to say to your question is that
a child helped Embiid, though.
Yeah, exactly. And Giannis, too. I mean, Giannis was already great before he had a kid, but you guys get my point.
Charles was asking how tall I am. Well, man, when I'm wearing I shouldn't even show this.
Don't show it,
I already went halfway. Don't flame me. I'm wearing some Donovan Mitchells.
Oh, I have a pair of Mitchells, dude. They're nice. Yeah.
So
they're nice.
So when I'm wearing these, I'm wearing some just beautiful. I'm 6'4", so like that's my problem is I never grew anymore. I needed to be like,
Bro, you forgot the
6'7"
goat
or more.
shoes over there, man.
Oh, these books.
You forgot the goat.
Did you know that these glow in the dark?
Oh, I wish I had those, bro. Not gonna lie.
It's too clean. The whole sole is like neon green in the dark. Not that you ever hoop in the dark, but yo, nighttime basketball, that'd be sick.
And going to your point, Gabe, you saying how you improved in basketball, like there's no reason DeAndre Ayton can't get a handle or improve. Like,
cheers to a burner account.
I know, right?
But
sorry, go ahead, Ron.
There's no reason Ayton can't improve. Like, you saw Pascal Siakam, like that dude came in the league raw as hell. Oh, yeah. And like even me as a scrawny little white boy back in the day, I was like, I want to dunk. And at 6 foot, I was dunking but now kind of out of shape, can't run. Don't even ask.
You're so young, man. There's time. There's time.
Yeah.
You got so much time to get that vert back, bro.
But Ayton, he can improve, bro. He can still improve, Don't ever give up on that. Like, I thought Embiid was at the level and he was just going to be at the level. And then all of a sudden he's an MVP player with a new coach. So, you know what I'm saying?
Charles says, I've been talking trash to a 6'4" guy all this time. I'm afraid to leave the gym right now.
Yeah, you're 6'4"?
Yeah. Dude, I weigh 225 right now, too. I'm in
6'2".
6'2", and you're still pretty close to dunking. That's good, man.
No,
That's
I
good.
used to be able to dunk when I was actually playing.
I saw your vid, though. You got up, you touched rim with the ball.
Oh, that was like the first time in forever, but that took everything out of me. I was
legs were wobbly.
I'm telling you, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. So I wanna address Humble Rumble. Humble, we love you.
Humble's the biggest Ayton fan of all time.
He is, bro. And like I do, man. I do. And so honestly, like this is not to attack you or talk shit or anything. I'm genuinely curious. You're saying here, he's our guy. I saw you in here say that he's there's only two centers better than him, Embiid and Jokic. So I mean, like, have you been watching the games? I mean, is this coming from like the bubble? Like,
watch closer, Humble Rumble. Watch very, very closely. Go back and watch film. It's all on YouTube. Just go back and watch Ayton.
Somebody asked, who would we rather bring back? So please, guys, questions. All right, we got no coach.
Ask us questions because we pretty much exhausted this game, and
we got no coach and no salty.
Oh, go for it,
Ron. Which teams do you want to face in the playoffs, and which teams don't you want to face?
Yeah, Romp kind of had that question. I forgot about it though. Let's look at the standings.
Answer that in the chat, guys. Who do you want the Suns to play? Who do you not want to play?
I'll say this, Gabe, because I was talking to Romp about this kind of earlier, and this is just kind of off the top of my head, but I did mention this to Romp. For some reason, I not necessarily don't want to play the Trailblazers, but I feel like we're going to play the Trailblazers. You know what I mean? I have that feeling.
That would be an ugly matchup, especially when they get their guys back. And think about if they get Aldridge.
They're not playing good, or they are playing good without CJ and freaking Nurkic. So think about how good they're going to be when they get back.
They think they're playing like crap, but from the outside looking in,
they're playing good.
Their record, like with no Nurk, no CJ, if they get those two back and add Aldridge, dude, like we need to file a petition to where we don't have to play them.
Here's the thing, though: the Spurs would be a scary matchup. Romp, you made a whole video opening my eyes to the Spurs.
They're not ready.
I don't know, man. They got that nice core.
Spurs. I want to see the Mavericks versus Suns just because his storyline would be great as an outsider. Like,
I want Ayton to dunk on Luka.
That would be hell. I feel like that would be hell as a Suns fan. Like, imagine you guys like playing Luka. That's just scary. Like, I will say
this: hate Ayton all you want, but his first possession of his career, I think he either dunked or scored on Luka. You can go back and look at it.
Yeah, he blocks his shot quite a bit at the rim. Yeah, takes on him. It's nice. It's a good feeling.
And the Suns play good against the Mavericks, especially since
they own them.
Oh, God, it just went back to Ayton. Sorry, that was my bad.
Right?
Say one good thing about Ayton.
He still has potential.
He has small hair. No, I'm just kidding.
He still
Now,
has potential.
if I have to say something good about Ayton, I would say
He's not done yet.
God took a little bit more time when he crafted DeAndre Ayton. God was like, literally, I mean this. God was like, yo, I'm gonna make a basketball player. Everybody chill. I'm gonna make a basketball player here. All right. Give him all the height that he would need. Okay. Now give him some hops and then make him chiseled. Make him look like Rambo. Okay. Coming out of college. And you know what? Hell, give him a jumper. Give him a mid-range. Fuck it. Hey, you know what? Make it so he can shoot from 3 if he chooses to, but he'll never choose to. So it'll be funny. Okay? That was God making DeAndre Ayton. He has everything. He chooses not to use it, in my opinion. Just like Bender. That was my thing with Bender. Dude, I loved Bender, Geek. You don't even know. We didn't know each other then. I effing loved Bender because I'm the biggest Porzingis fan that you're ever going to meet to this day.
I know.
I think Porzingis is the shit to this day. Playing like crap, he's better than Ayton.
Porzingis has been injured.
I thought Bender was going to be that. I thought Bender could be something just like we thought Ayton could be Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to be humble for a second. I'm going to be positive about Ayton. I think he deserves some credit for taking a lesser role. He has his lowest usage rating of his career. Obviously, the Suns aren't playing through him like they did last year. He's not really complaining. Like I saw an interview, they asked him about not playing.
Yes, let's talk about that interview. Go ahead, please.
They asked him about not playing in the fourth quarter, and he was like, "We're winning. And like he didn't complain. He could have complained there. So I guess that's a good thing about Ayton. And without him, you guys have no rim protection. Like, it's bad. And you kind of need him. Like, you're kind of stuck with Ayton, so you might as well just, like, accept him for what he is.
Dude, I'm there. You're right. You're right, though, and I'm there. I am accepting him, but I'm not going to lie and say we got something we didn't.
Yeah.
We got what we got, and I accept him for it. If he can go ahead and just be that goonish big that JaVale McGee is, who gets you a healthy amount of rebounds and points, we can win titles. No one has won more titles in the last 10 years than JaVale McGee at the starting center position. It's McGee. This NBA does not require Embiid. It's weird because until like 5 days ago when I looked at this, I realized I've been living in fantasy world thinking that a center matters anymore. It doesn't. It legit doesn't.
It's because
not the way we thought.
It's because the way the top centers are kind of changing where they can create their own shot. They don't have to rely on others to get them the ball. And in the playoffs, you can it's easier to adjust to someone who you have to get the ball to. That's why Giannis has struggled, but that's a bad example because Giannis dribbles. But
yeah, but Giannis is like a center.
Yeah, they use him terribly, but that's another story for another day.
That's a whole nother podcast.
But centers, you are right. Joel Embiid definitely needs.
I'm not saying you can't win with him.
Yeah,
you can. I'm
you
just saying
you have to have a certain amount of shooters around him and things of that nature. You can't just go, hey, give Embiid the ball. It's got to, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Burner and a couple of other people want to know which players are we willing to trade and like which players do you think the Suns are willing to trade? I think the only Suns that are probably would be really hard to pry away is our 3 players, Chris Paul, Booker, and Mikal. I think the way James Jones runs this team, he'll trade, and it all depends. It's all predicated on who you're going to get.
Yep.
It's not about like who do you want to move. We don't really want to move anyone. We like everyone we have on this team. We realize, and Romp, you're pointing it out perfectly, bro. Like, and you're upsetting me. Okay. Like we have nothing rim protection wise outside of Ayton. And when I think about it, it's like, well, we let Baines go. That hurts. We let, as someone pointed out earlier, Rashawn Holmes go. That's a rim protector. And the closest thing we have, I guarantee you, If Ayton goes down, God forbid, you know who our starting center is?
Jalen Smith.
Oh, I wish. I wish.
Frank the Tank.
It's this guy, Frank the Tank.
The GOAT.
Yes, Goat Minsky. And they put him in because he's 7'1", and he's going to be your poor man's interior defender. And that is scary. So we've got to make a move. I say, honest to God, like off the top of my head, I'm thinking bring in Boogie.
Nah.
And let him be a bench center.
Nah. He's washed. Unless he goes to like the Lakers or something, in my opinion.
I don't know if Boogie's washed. He's been injured. People forget how good he was when he was
absolutely
healthy.
a terror.
But
He
Gabe,
doesn't bring rim protection either.
I want to just comment on something that you said, and you kind of said it perfectly. It's not really like what we would trade. It's what we would get back in return, because I don't think the Suns are going to make a move at all. I think this is going to be the first trade deadline in like forever where the Suns do not make a trade unless like something bizarre happens that none of us were thinking about. Now, the buyout market, that's another story. I don't know how much salary cap we have left, but I just wanted to go on that tangent. I don't think we're going to be making any moves.
I don't think the Suns are going to make a move because if you think about in the beginning of the season, I don't think you guys had championship expectations. Is that fair? Like I think you guys are exceeding
We had playoff expectations.
Yeah. So from a front office standpoint, they're probably just looking at it like, oh, we're good. We're the third seed in the West.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. We don't need to make a move.
But Romp, you're sitting there in that 70s show style basement. and you're the one sitting here with the foresight to tell everyone, hey, by the way, if Diego's down, you're effed. Like if you know that in Wisconsin there with Red Foreman upstairs getting ready to call you a dumbass, if you know that,
yeah.
James Jones, a title winning baller, knows what you know. Like,
that is true.
You're smart enough to know it. I guarantee you James Jones knows
LeBron James said that James Jones was like one of his favorite, if not his favorite teammate of all time, maybe besides like Kevin Love.
But the only way I see you guys making a trade is if you give up Cam Johnson or Aiden. Like,
and that would be bizarre.
The only value I see. Like, I'm not taking Aiden straight up. I'm taking Cam and Aiden if I want anything, if I'm in another team. You know what I'm saying?
So Eugenius has said this a couple of times. Appreciate you for the comment, man. He says y'all didn't answer. Holmes or Ayton? Who are you taking? So
it's Aiden.
Can I shout out Ingenious real quick? He was the guy that brought up the whole who'd you extend, Bridges or Ayton, but that's another podcast for another day. I still want to make that video, you guys, but I've just been busy, and the harsh truth of DeAndre Ayton video kind of tackled that question, kind of. Who shout out to Ingenious.
Geek, Holmes or Ayton?
I got to believe in Ayton, man. We drafted him. We got rid of Holmes after he got arrested. People forget about that. But he's a great guy. I love his mom too. But it's Ayton, dude. It's Ayton. We're not. It's Ayton.
Draft status, he's our guy. All that aside, if I took their jerseys off and there was no name, no team name, no homo, okay, there's no nothing. You don't know who these guys are. You've never met them before. Let's just say you can't see them at all. I'm just showing you stats. Or let's just say I'm showing you the effort and stuff that they're putting. Let's just effort alone. It is a lie to say that Ayton is better than Holmes right now. He is not. We saw it. Are you kidding me? I just looked up all of Holmes' stats. Remember on my rant the other night?
But
and Holmes is beating. So what? They have Bagley. They have other bigs to compete with.
It's DeAndre Ayton, man. I'm sorry. As much as we've been trashing on the guy,
that's just disrespectful, Gabe. Apologize.
That's disrespectful to Holmes. Holmes has a motor that DeAndre Ayton has never even dreamt about.
No, he does have a motor.
Don't forget that they were teammates. Don't forget
they were. And I know it sounds insane. Why would you do that? Why would you? Because he's better. Because he plays harder, more consistently. And like I said, we don't need Embiid or Jokic to win a title. No one does. It's proven.
But
No, the Sixers need Embiid.
oh yeah, we do. But don't bring Embiid up; he's hurt. Rashawn Holmes is the defensive anchor on the 30th ranked defense in the league. Gabe, come on.
I got no comeback.
Here's
All
the
right.
thing.
I
Romp.
just want
Go
to say
ahead.
one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
If Rashawn Holmes was so good, trust me, he would have signed with the Lakers or the Clippers or a playoff team. There's no way he's going to the Kings if he is that good. That's all I'll say.
Here's the thing. I remember Rashawn Holmes was actually pretty damn good when he was with us. The guy hustled. He was like a bigger version of Javon Carter. You know what I mean? He was a power guy, hustle guy, energy guy. And I don't know. I was like, I wanted them to bring him back. And then there was some off-season stuff that I guess he wasn't a part of, but he got arrested, yada, yada, yada. But like they would have brought him back if they wanted to. They could have brought him back. Because I think James Jones was the GM at the time, too.
Yeah.
They didn't bring him back for a reason. And I'm not trashing on Rashawn Holmes. I do like Rashawn Holmes. Give him to me for cheap. You know what I mean? But DeAndre Ayton is the better player, as much as we trash
making an outright pick, like calling up the Kings and saying, "Hey guys, we're willing to give you Ayton for Rashawn." That's crazy.
Yeah,
I get that that's crazy, but let's say we're in the playoffs right now, and who would you rather have on the Suns in a playoff run right now? Dude, I'm going to war with Holmes. Sorry,
I respect it. I disagree.
That's fair.
I'm going with Ayton, man. I'm going with Ayton. I'm sorry. As much as we trash on the guy, it's Ayton, bro.
Now, Rashawn Holmes off the bench, he's the type of player you can't play starters minutes, but if you throw him in for like 15 minutes, he's perfect.
If you could combine those two players.
Also, I want to see more Sarge and Aiden lineups, but you can't do that because Sarge is the 5. Like,
right.
And they look good yesterday. They did that to end the half. And they're going to do that in the playoffs, though. They're not going to be running Sarge at 5 for extended period of time in the playoffs. Because you guys are talking about depth a lot in the playoffs. You're going to be playing like 7 guys, or 7 to 8 guys. So you got to think about that, too.
Can we shout out the chat? We still got like 18 people in here.
Yeah, man.
Somebody asked if you guys were going live tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Every game. We have no life outside of the Phoenix Suns.
Facts.
So we got Charles. We got Roy. Humble Rumble, keeping it real for his boy DA, standing by his man.
Yep. I give you props, Humble Rumble. I might disagree with you, but you got love for Ayton that knows no bounds. He's kind of like me and Dragon Bender. I have no bounds when it comes to Dragon Bender.
It's like me and
love
Embiid.
Dragon Bender. Yeah.
Iverson, Iverson vlogs. He wasn't here the other night.
He's the biggest Embiid lover I've ever met.
He
should be.
He's a part of me.
Should be.
He's literally the city.
Bro, I love him, and he has nothing to do with me, man. He's so good. It's inspirational.
He's pretty damn good. Roth knows I've kind of hopped on the Embiid bandwagon, dude. I've hopped on that guy's bandwagon.
The time I fell in love with Embiid was when I saw that video of him running in Philly at night when it was hot as shit in the summer, and he's out there you see this 7'3" dude just getting his cardio in. I understand it's hot in the valley, fellas, but when are we going to see a video of DA doing anything? Like, I get it. It's cheesy to post your workout vids and stuff. Like, I'm not saying he should be like LeBron, forgetting the lyrics while rapping during his workouts and stuff. Like, I don't need all that, but I just don't even know that it exists, and it doesn't look like it the way he trots up and down the court.
Bro, Chris Paul hates him.
He does, dude. Fact.
That's all I got to say about Ayton when it comes to jogging up the court.
But I don't think I don't think he's trying to jog. I think he's just trying to run.
It's bad,
that's
though.
His max effort.
dude, it's literally this. I'm like, dude, fucking run.
Hey, bro, he's 7 foot. Like, I can't even handle my 6'2" body, so I can't judge.
I will say that you guys were kind of talking about big men, and I'm biased when it comes to big men, man. I feel like they really do matter in this league, or Joel Embiid wouldn't be an MVP candidate. We wouldn't probably be bitching about DA so much if big men didn't matter.
Oh,
Nikola Jokic is a freaking point guard trapped in a big man's body. You know, I'm super biased when it comes to big men. I mean, nobody talks about Bill Russell. Nobody talks about Wilt Chamberlain. People don't, I mean, shit, this is kind of a bad comparison because Shaq talks a bunch of shit, but nobody ever talks about how dominant Shaq was. You know what I mean? And I know that the game's changed. I get it. It's a point guard driven league. Coach talked about that last time, but centers matter.
Bro, I love Shaq. Like, I love centers. And I'm telling you, it's been like 5 days that I feel like I've come to this conclusion that it's not the crux of winning a title anymore. Like, you certainly can win a title with Embiid. No one's questioning that. I think Denver could certainly win with Jokic, but I don't think it's a prerequisite anymore.
Right.
Now, if I was starting my overall team from like get to draft players, my first pick is Jordan. My second pick is Shaq. That's how much I love centers. That's how much I love Shaq. Now, not Suns Shaq. Okay. But
I have his jersey, by the
way. You do? Dude.
My friend gave it to me.
I would still buy a Suns jersey of Shaq. Absolutely. That'd be hilarious.
It's a good jersey. My friend was generous enough to give it to me for free. So I
will say I think there's going to be a revival of centers. I think that's why you're seeing Jokic and Embiid dominate, because centers are getting so much smaller than them, and Embiid has a mismatch every night. Like, you have to triple team him or it's over. And that's because the league like wants centers to be like skinny and like guard all 5 positions. And when you have guys like Jokic and Embiid who are just massive, it's hard to match up one-on-one. So there might be a trend towards that way.
And before we, sorry to cut you off, Romp, before we get into this next question, why do you, and this is kind of a bad example, but you guys get my point. Why do you think they're putting big men in the skills challenge? Because these big men are point guards trapped in a big man's body. Sorry to cut you off, Romp, but just thought I'd go on that last tangent.
For the Suns to reach their potential, I don't even think Aiden is holding them back because of the way they play. I think you just got to accept that Aiden's not going to be that scorer. I know it's hard to say it as a number 1 pick, but that's the truth. I think for them to get over the hump this year, I think Mikel's got to step up offensively and be more consistent like he was tonight, and run the show every now and again when CP3 and D-Book aren't hitting. That's my opinion.
Yo, I'm kind of tripping here. I'm looking on YouTube, right? Because Roy had a good idea to pull up, see if we've got the post-game interview with Coach Monty and all the guys. I would love to hear their excuses for what happened.
I stopped watching those, to be honest. I got sick of them.
Considering the questions are so easy, But I'm seeing here, there's another podcast called The Valley. It seems pretty new. It's a Phoenix Suns podcast.
You guys are getting,
bro. I searched high and low before we started our channel to make sure nobody had that name, and nobody had that name. So I feel like that's kind of.
Can we go back to Static Truth's question real quick? It's kind of an easy question. It won't take too long. He said Monty is going to be a coach for the Suns 1 to 3 more years. You guys think so? Romp, I know you're not a big coaches guy, but 1 to 3 more years, I think, is fair.
I think,
especially if the Suns somehow get to the Western Conference Finals. Go ahead, Romp.
I have to see Monty in the playoffs, but the vibe I get from him, I don't know if he's holding players accountable, and that was a big issue with Brett Brown. I know I always bring it back to the Sixers. I apologize for that, but
you're a Sixers fan while you're on here.
I don't know. I get weird vibes from Monty. It gives me PTSD. So it's kind of just me being biased towards him because of Brett Brown.
You see, Romp, we're in a situation as Suns fans where we've been dating fat chicks, you know.
Hey,
and we've been with uggos, you know. And so now this what I would consider like a B, this this like 7.5, 8 walks into the room and she picks us over the Lakers. We don't know how to act, bro. Like, we love Monty, and we haven't had anything like Monty for so damn long that this guy is probably going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
They say what I mean. I agree. I love hearing from non-Suns fans because they have clear minds. My buddy Gary is a Spurs fan. We talk almost after every podcast because he watches this shit and then he just wants to unload this like non-Suns,
Blazers
view
uprise.
on me. So I hearing from you that you see it, that's a red flag because we aren't going to see it as Suns fans. Okay. Salty sees it. Shout out to Salty, our goatiest goat.
We miss you, Salty.
Dude, we miss you so much tonight, Salt. Thanks for being in the chat as much as you were. But Salt sees it. He calls out Monty here and there. I put on the kid gloves for Monty. Bro, yeah. I'm making tea and crumpets for Monty. I'm rubbing his little feet at night.
I'm Monty.
He's probably a great guy.
Guy aside, he is. And
I'm very Monty biased.
But it's more of just like we've never had a coach, at least in a very long time. Even when we had D'Antoni, we hated his guts because he wouldn't coach no damn defense. So it's like it's been a long time since we've had a coach that we respect. And I mean, we've had,
I'm just saying that because like I was so sick of hearing Brett Brown. We'll get him next time. We'll be more focused. He played well, but like all that BS. And Doc Rivers came in when we played bad against the Cavs. He's like, we just looked like we didn't want to play. That can't happen again. He just tells it how it is. And even Ben Simmons has said stuff like Doc Rivers just tells it how it is, and I love it. And Brett Brown wasn't holding us accountable. Josh Richardson said the same thing. He's in Dallas now. Embiid's loving Doc. Monty could be your Mark Jackson for like the Warriors. They had to get Steve Kerr to push you guys over the hump.
But Mark Jackson got them to the playoffs.
Yeah. Like Monty's a great coach. Don't get me wrong. But he might not be that guy to get you.
So specifically about pushing your players to get more and holding people accountable. I see that with Monty. See, Monty's weird ass lineups, I see as a product of him holding people accountable. He's like, yeah, Langston, look, I get that you have the strap. I get that you can hit immediately. You got a beautiful shot. You're hitting threes. You're not playing, Langston, and here's why. I don't feel you defend. So I'm putting Nader's pyramid ass in there because he plays D. And so Javon, hey, Javon, remember when we signed you to that juicy contract and I put my arm around your shoulders and I said, hey, son, you earned it. Well, I'm sitting you now all season because I don't like the way you're playing. I'm going to go ahead and put in Etuan Moore, who just got here. Frank getting to play. Like, I don't know. I see him holding people accountable almost to a fault.
And you know what? Let's give some credit to the team here because none of those guys have complained and they've stayed ready, especially Langston Galloway. He even went on, I think it was the Sun Solar Panel and said, I stay ready. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Now that's a fair point. But I'm play devil's advocate. He may be holding them accountable in that aspect, but then why are the Suns still playing down to their competition? Still losing to bad teams.
Don't get me started.
Blowing leads, as Suns Geek would say. Not being a top 5 defense when they are a top 5 defense. Why is that happening? Because that was a reoccurring thing for the Sixers for years, and now it's kind of gone.
And Rob knows this. I'm always bitching about the Suns blowing leads. Sorry, Gabe. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, man. Static was just saying, have you guys seen Ace of Basketball and Ignorance in Basketball channel? I just saw. He says they're also a Suns cult. I just saw Ignorance in Basketball for the first time. It looks like he makes videos like you, Geek. I don't know if they do live streaming and stuff. I Ace of Basketball. It sounds familiar.
I might as well just retire.
I've seen Ignorance of Basketball. He's pretty funny.
He seems cool, man. Shout out.
I might as well just retire.
Positive. about the Suns.
Yeah, Suns Geek, they're
I'm
nipping
done.
at your heels. And not only that, our podcast is dragging you
Yeah,
back. So
Like you guys have like 130 subscribers and counting. Like I just can't keep up anymore.
it's because we're growing and people are actually having an appetite to hear about the Suns.
Exactly.
Nobody has an appetite when the food you're eating is disgusting. But when it's delicious, everybody wants to come get a taste. And I don't blame them, man. Blazers Tay from Blazers Uprise, man. What's
Hey.
going on?
Hey, I'm gonna be listening all season. One of my favorite things to do is just listen to other teams' podcasts to see what's going on, to keep myself in the loop for all.
Because
teams.
you know what? Romp makes a good point. Romp and I have talked about, and Gabe, we've even talked about this. Like the fans know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No offense to all these big national media guys and yada, yada, yada. The
They
fans know
have to
what's
stay
going on.
close. Like they have to stay on the happy side of the team and the players because they're the ones that are going to get an opportunity to interview them. And they don't want to go talk to DeAndre Ayton and float him a question and have him already hate their effing guts, right? I'm not asking DeAndre any questions. I'm never going to get that opportunity. So I can sit here and say all the shit that I want to. And same with you, Geek, you know?
Shout out
you're
to a
never gonna
burner
meet it.
account's legendary comment just now.
Dude, burner account's definitely
Dude.
Chris Paul.
Dude, a burner account is such a legend, man.
I know, dude. I'm so glad that he's one of the best people we got from
Seriously,
from your stream. from
Never,
when we came on
never
with
leave
yours.
us, burner account.
Every
Don't
night,
ever leave
like-
us.
He has something new every night too. He doesn't have the same jokes, so he's keeping it nice and like new.
Vlog said he got blocked by DA on Insta. Not surprising because
Gabe.
you tell like it is. What's up?
I know that this is your podcast, but you guys want to go for like 10 more minutes and we'll call it?
Oh, dude, definitely. You guys
End it at like the 2-hour mark?
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
I mean, I could talk all night, but I feel like we're kind of.
Oh, we are, bro. We absolutely are.
So yeah, submit your last minute questions for the next 10 minutes, and we will answer them as quickly as possible.
I'm gonna look up here
Let
through
me see if I got any. Romp, you got any other questions for us that we can like tackle real quick?
I would say, what are your expectations for the playoffs? How far do they have
Western
to get?
Conference Finals.
How far do they have to get for you to be satisfied with this season?
Gabe, I don't know if we've talked about this. Have we talked about that yet?
I don't think together.
Yeah, not together. What do you think, Gabe?
Well, Charles wants a 24-hour stream.
That guy.
So for me, that answer is a top 4 finish. I want to be
2 rounds.
either in the finals or just falling short of the finals. I think in the first year with Chris Paul,
It's a must.
I think that in the first year with him, I could accept a little bit of failure. I'm not expecting us to necessarily get out there and win the title, although I think we could. And I would like to see that at the very end. And I know that's nuts to hear from a Suns fan, bro. It's like, who the hell are we, right? Like, who are we to be saying this shit? Even after a stinker of a loss tonight, I recognize that loss was an aberration, dude. That's not going to happen very often. It doesn't happen very often.
We're going to bounce back against the Timberwolves, and then we'll probably play really well against the Lakers.
Because we play up to the level of our competition, that means that we can, will, and should go toe-to-toe with the Lakers, the Clippers,
The Heat,
the Jazz, any of
I'm
them.
kind of nervous about that Heat game.
Yeah, the Heat are starting to heat up. No pun. Geek, what do you think?
Like I said, I just think it's Western Conference Finals, and I'm kind of being cliche when I say that because what do you think Chris Paul would say? He'd say we're going for the NBA Finals, man. You know what I mean? Like we have to put in our heads that we are good enough to go to the Western Conference Finals because, Romp, you know this. If Joel Embiid said, "Oh, I think we're a first round team," Philly would riot. You know what I mean? Like Joel Embiid's gonna say we're going to the mother effing finals.
Well, the thing is, I think this is going to be a hard reality to face, but you got to fail in the playoffs in order to succeed.
Yeah, you said that before. You're right.
It's the biggest truth ever. Look at LeBron James, Dirk Nowitzki, Michael
Remember
Jordan.
LeBron
Michael
got swept
Jordan
in 07?
The Portland Trailblazers are still failing, but
The
maybe
Denver Nuggets.
This could be the year. Yeah, Denver. Like you have to fail in order.
I'm hoping, and you're right. I'm
right.
personally hoping that Chris Paul makes that okay. Did the
Right.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Did the
Chris Paul
Buccaneers
didn't go
have to
over
fail in the playoffs?
Right.
Nah.
True.
Did the Heat? Well, I guess the Heat. Some of
Nah,
them
that
players
was
had already been. They'd already been there. They had stars. But bringing in Chris Paul is supposed to quell that. And we always talk good or bad. This Suns team is a fourth quarter team. It's because he steps in usually in the fourth quarter and he runs the offense like it's the playoffs. We do half court sets. Everything matters. Nothing is taken for granted usually. And our fourth quarters are usually outstanding. And that's a playoff symptom, right? Like that's how you play in the playoffs. So I'm hoping, and then that's what we brought Crowder in, right, Geek? Mm-hmm. He was supposed to be another playoff piece. He was starting for the Heat all year. He was a starter in the finals. So we're supposed to have two guys.
Boston too, man. And I keep reminding people of this. Jay Crowder wanted to come here. Okay. And I keep, and I get it. Suns fans like to, use the trade machine and Crowder gets brought up. But as of right now, probably for the next 2 years, Jay Crowder is not going anywhere. Maybe on his last year of his contract, maybe, but he's not going anywhere.
I'm just going to give love to Jay Crowder quick. He reminds me of Danny Green on the Sixers. A lot of fans, whenever Danny Green does bad, they hate on him, but they don't realize his impact. Jay Crowder is the type of player, he's always in the right position, never getting in the way of people. On the fast break, he's getting open for three. He does little things that you don't realize, and he never messes up the flow of the offense, and he plays good defense. Danny Green is a must-have. The Heat missed him a lot this year. That's the reason they traded for Trevor Ariza. And people don't realize Crowder is very, very valuable. The Suns are not going to give him up. No way. If they do, I would be.
You know how messed up that would be? Like the guy wanted to come here. We gave him a 3-year deal. And then, sorry, you've been traded. So,
but bro, like Dems to breaks when you're going for a title. If it came to it.
But you need a Jay Crowder to win a title.
Okay, but let's just say hypothetically he's involved in a trade with Ayton for something that you would, let's say Cat. Crowder and Ayton and a pick for Cat. Would you do it? Come on, Geek. We still got Bridges. We still got Cam Johnson on the wing.
On that note, I gotta go, guys.
So I'm saying, like, them's the breaks when you're trying to win a title. You have to make gut-wrenching decisions.
Salty when I need them, man.
Bro, you let the king of the Valley boys, Oubre, go for Chris Paul.
I miss you, Kelly Oubre.
But do you guys really need Cat? He just brings more offense. You guys got.
He's not that good of a defensive player. Right?
I feel like it would be better just to go after a better center to back up Aiden, get more defense, because you guys got the offense. Like, there's no other duo I would take above CP3 and D-Book in the clutch. Like, that's a lethal duo.
Well, what about and I said that the other night, but what about Dame and CJ?
Well, they're basically the same duo. So yeah,
close.
I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And then what about
Portland has no defense?
What about Steph and Clay?
Yeah, I would take Steph and Clay over.
And then what about Irving and Harden?
I would take the Suns.
Really?
I would take the Suns over the Nets just because of defense. I mean, the Nets defense is terrible. Well, no, the Suns would lose. The Suns would lose to the Nets in 7 games. I'm thinking of in a Sixers logic because no one's guarding Embiid, but you guys have Aiden and. Yeah, sorry to bring up Aiden again, but yeah, you guys would lose to the Nets. Oh no, I'm just saying you really don't need more offense. It would help, obviously, getting Cat, but it could hurt you.
I really think I think the perfect move for us, Geek, and I hope you agree. The perfect move for us is to somehow get Aaron Baines back.
Hey, he's on the Raptors. They suck. So
he sucks on the Raptors.
They're not that good this year.
He sucks. They suck. Give him back to us.
He'd help our rebounding. We suck at rebounding.
You guys help us out and get a 3-team trade going. You get Lowry to Philly and Baines sent to Toronto. Perfect. Call up Baines Jones. Let's make it happen.
All right. pretty much there at that 2-hour mark. Suns Geek, Romp, it was great, man. Thank you guys, especially Romp, for filling in. I mean, Geek, he's a part of the family already. He's already, but Romp, we appreciate you coming in and filling in, especially when Salt wasn't here. Shout out to Salt. Shout out to Coach. Man, having a baby must be rough. That's why I'm dragging my feet.
Romp, where can everyone find you if they don't know who you are already?
Just Romp 2.0.
Guys, go
the
subscribe,
most successful YouTuber in this room.
Go subscribe,
Romp 2.0.
Romp is a legend. This guy uploads like 50 videos a day. I'm not even kidding. Go subscribe right
Dude,
now.
I need to learn from you, bro. You got that millennial brain, that sponge brain that just knows how to internet. 34 over here can barely figure the interwebs out. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Charles, Roy.
We love you, chat. Thank you, guys.
All the new people, man. Eugenius, I hope I'm saying that right. Blazer Tay. Man, I feel like there was a bunch of new people we hadn't seen yet.
Static was really good tonight. Thank you,
man.
Static.
Thank you, guys.
Podcast is growing.
Burner account, it really is, man. We appreciate you guys. Suns Geek, you want to tell them where to find you and what you do?
Yes, sir. For those of you who do not know me, Suns Geek, just search it on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube. You will find me. I upload almost anything and everything about the Phoenix Suns. I'd encourage you guys to subscribe. Check out my boy Romp 2.0 as well. Subscribe to the Valley Pod. You guys are all awesome. We appreciate you guys.
Man, thank you guys for coming out. You guys, obviously, you can follow me at Suns Valley Pod. I run our official little Twitter account. It's growing, man. It's growing. I can't even tell you.
Growing.
So, anyways, we were sign out. We get to see you guys tomorrow night, man. What's better than this? We get to see you guys. Brendan King in the house.
Hey,
he's late to the party. Sorry, he says we're winning tomorrow. We are winning.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
We're gonna come back and bounce back tomorrow. We'll be okay.
And then we will all take a shot of absinthe. We will forget this ever happened. We will never speak of it again, and we will get to work on trading for Aaron Baines. All right, guys. We love you. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Go Suns.
Let's get